Most service-based businesses think Facebook ads do not work for them. The truth is that the ads never work because they never test them properly. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we test our ads for our clients until they print money. So every dollar they spend, they are able to get clients back. All right, guys, let's get straight into it. How we test ads until they print money for service-based businesses. Okay, so smaller. Imagine you are a landscaper, a concreter, a clinic owner, whatever industry you're in, mortgage broker, whatever industry. If you sell to clients and you need clients to come in, imagine that you're one of these, you launch an ad, doesn't work, and you start to think, Facebook ads are broken or it's too competitive now. That's something I hear a lot and it really gets on my nerves. Or it's just, the quality of leads are terrible. And then they come to a conclusion that Facebook ads are broken, which I don't know how that belief comes into play, but for some reason it does. Okay. Now, the issue, again, wrong. The problem here isn't the platform itself. It's your testing system and it's your strategy, okay? A big thing that comes down to the ads is actually, to your performance on Facebook, is your creatives. It's about 60% of your results, okay? We say the offer and the creatives are 80%, and then 20% is the agency and the targeting, okay? Everyone obsesses over this pixel and the targeting. Like, the most important thing is your offer and your creatives, okay? So this video, I'm again breaking down how you do a creative test. Okay, so without a system, you're just gambling. So if you just do a few ads, you're not testing anything, you're just gambling. You're just trying to, will this ad work? Will this ad work? And you're just hoping and praying to Zuckerberg that you're going to get results. That's not how these ads work, okay? With the system, your ads become a money machine, okay? So this is our 4-step process we use internally for our company at A&A Media to test creative. So the first thing is to find out what you're testing. Okay, is it the visual hook, the written hook, or the concept? The second thing is to launch a controlled test. 3 is to watch where the money flows, and 4 is to scale the winners safely. We'll go through our scaling process as well. Okay, because again, if you think you're going to scale or make $1 million by spending $50 a day, $100 a day, like nah, we're going to get up to thousands, $2,000, $3,000 a day, and you should be comfortable doing that, knowing that you're making $10,000 a day on the back end. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find out what you're testing, okay? So most service businesses lose money on ads because they don't even know what they're testing. This is how I break it into 3 buckets for my creative testing. So when I'm doing an ad for a client or a campaign, I'll go, right, I'll break it down to 3 different things, 3 different areas I'm testing. It's either the written hook, which is what people are saying, and then everything else in the ad stays the same. So it'll be 3 different ads. The visual hook, which is where we have one written hook, but we change the visuals on the first 3 seconds of the ad, which we call the visual hook, which we'll go into in a second. And then the concept, which is the overall idea. And if you don't separate those, you'll never know why an ad works or why it fails. Okay, so now let's get into the visual hook first. So this is one of our clients as an example, but the way the visual hook works is you keep all the ad the same. You keep the whole ad the same except for the first 3 seconds. Okay, so instead of changing the words, you change the visuals. So here with the client, so the way I normally test this is I do 3 visuals at a time. After this, I'll test a new concept. You don't want to get into the habit of doing 20 different visual hooks for one ad, okay? I normally do 3 and then move on to a new ad itself. So for this example, this is our TikTok response comment angle, which works like in every industry. And basically what we did here is we tested what was actually in the TikTok bubble. So this is a fake comment, and there'll be 3 different bubbles for one of our concreters. So you save the customer an extravagant amount of money for not pouring new concrete, ? Which only stays on for the first 3 seconds. And then the next one was I literally just Googled this process yesterday. I need to do the same thing, and I spent all day pressure washing the driveway, and it still looks terrible. Now, other than that, the rest of the ad stayed the same, okay? The rest of the ad stayed the same. Nothing else changed except for this visual hook at the start, okay? And that is how we test a visual hook. It's just changing the first 3 seconds. Now, it doesn't have to be a TikTok comment. You could have one where it's a video of someone driving into the driveway and there's cracks on the floor. Again, this is for a concreter. But that's basically the process for a visual hook, okay? Now, before I go any further into these hooks and these testings, you need to make sure that you have the budget to actually test an ad. So if you're spending $30 a day, you can't do a visual hook test like this, okay? Because you're going to have to do only 2 to 3 ads. And that's why you need to be spending a lot more than $30 a day and $50 a day to do a visual hook and a written hook test, okay? So if you haven't got that budget, I would recommend doing a concept test, which you get to in the third part. Again, that is a visual hook test. Now, the next thing is the written hook. So basically with the written hook, you keep all the ad the same except for the first 3 seconds. So it's similar to a visual hook, but instead of changing the visual hook, which is all the visuals, you change the words. So I'll give you an example. You could have 3 different hooks on an ad. So this is an example for one of the concreters. Hey Sydney homeowners, have you ever looked at your neighbour's driveway and said, I wish mine looked that good? Hook 2, if you have cracks in your driveway, in your concrete driveway like this, this, and this, then you need to see this. And then hook 3, Sydney homeowners, when you get home after a long stressful day and the first thing you see is cracks and dirt in your driveway, does that make your day any better? So all of these are targeting different pain points. This is like neighbours envy, like concrete envy. This is saying cracks in your driveway. And this is just saying you come home after a long stressful day, similar to number 2, but it's just more specific, okay? After this, the rest of the video stays the same. So that way, when we look at data, we can say, right, which ad performed the best? Okay, well, maybe number 1 performed the best. Okay, well, we know that the biggest pain point that's working in our market is that people are envy of their neighbor's driveway. Okay, perfect. So now for future ads, we'll use that hook and use that pain point to get better results. So you want the market to dictate what you want to test. Okay, and that's an example of another test. Okay, now the concept. This is probably the most important. Now, this is where we test radically different ideas to find out what is working, okay? So, some concepts we test here is a TikTok response comment, which is one here. We have 3 different comments. That'd be a concept. The next concept would be problem and solution. If you have cracks in your driveway, hasten your homeowners. When you get home after a long, stressful day and the first thing you see is cracks in your driveway, look to your neighbors. That's a problem. And then we'll go into there's a new way to upgrade your driveway. That's a problem solution. Testimonial angle, whether it's a video or image, before and after, and then bottom of funnel offer. So within a concept, we normally do 3 tests, or 3 either visual or written hooks that we're testing, okay? But you don't want to do 20 different hooks here. So once you do 3, you go, perfect, I've done 3, now let me change and go into a testimonial angle and do something similar, or before and after and do 3 different hooks, or bottom of funnel offer, where it's like, get your free design consultation now, something like that, okay? That is where you do a concept test, okay? Now, again, that's step 1. Step 2, after we've figured out what we're testing and we have the creatives, we want to launch a controlled test. So we set up a small budget campaign, nothing crazy. So anywhere from, some clients, if they have $50 a day, some clients will have $300 a day, $500 a day, whatever the budget they're comfortable with spending at the start, okay? But the goal here isn't to make sales right away. It's to let Meta show us which ad angle is grabbing attention and which hook is grabbing attention, okay? Once we have data, we can make better ads and optimize the ads tailored towards more of our specific customer persona, which again leads to better results. So the goal here is to just see what's working and then consistently optimize the ads and do creative testing, always doing new concepts or even the same concept but in a different video, so change the body as well, and just keep reiterating on what's working, okay? Now, step 3 is to watch where the money flows. So after a few days, we normally take about a week, Meta automatically puts more spend behind the ads that are winning. That's assuming that you do a CBO, which is a campaign budget optimization, where you let the Meta AI dictate where the spend goes to, which I highly recommend. It's called Alien Technology Meta. Now, after you've done that, and you see which ad's getting most spent, majority of the time, that's going to be your proof. Instead of guessing, you let data tell you which ads bring real inquiries. So if you see one ad's got 70% budget spent, then you know that Meta's pushing that ad forward because it believes it's converting the best. Because again, Meta wants you to succeed, so you pay them more and they make more. So that's why we always do a CBO. Okay, and then step number 4 is scale the winners safely. So when an ad is working, we don't suddenly double the budget. I see this so many times, but what happens is that some clients will go, look at the results we're getting. Let's go from $1,000 a month and let's go straight to $3,000. It's like, no. If you do that, it's going to break. What you need to do is scale slowly. So the way we do it at ANA Media, we up it by 15% every 72 hours, and we keep looking and flowing until we see consistency. And if we see results start to drop, we'll basically do the same thing backwards, where we start to drop ad spend by 15% every 72 hours, until we're at a spot where we're still getting profitable. We're still acquiring customers profitably, okay? And with this format, we're able to ensure our ads keep working instead of just automatically going from here and then overnight, bang, straight drop, okay? So that's basically our safety precaution to ensure that we scale winning ads effectively. Okay. Now, when you test ads this way, your marketing stops being a gamble. So you should no longer be stressing and thinking like, is my marketing working or not? You know, you realize that it's more about optimization and scaling winning concepts. And every dollar has a job to bring in more jobs, no pun intended there, and more clients and more sales. That's how ads become predictable growth engines, not just wasted money down the drain. Okay, so that is basically our whole process when it comes to testing ads. And how we basically scale our clients predictably and confidently. If you want to see how we can implement this for your company, click on the description below. You'll see our landing page. Go into that, book a call with us, and we'll show you exactly how we can implement a strategy like this into your company.